The Gurkhas are among the most renowned warriors in military history, known for their exceptional bravery, discipline, and combat prowess. Their origins trace back to the early 19th century during the Anglo-Nepalese War, 1814–1816, where British forces encountered fierce resistance from the Nepalese soldiers. Though Nepal ultimately lost the war, the British were so impressed by the Gurkhas' resilience and skill that they negotiated the Sugauli Treaty in 1816, allowing the British East India Company to recruit them into its army. This marked the beginning of a long-standing tradition, and the Gurkhas would go on to serve with distinction in the British military for more than 2 centuries. Initially, they fought in the various colonial campaigns of the British Empire, including the Second Anglo-Afghan War and the Boxer Rebellion. After the Indian Rebellion of 1857, the British Crown formally integrated them into the British Indian Army, solidifying their role as elite troops. What set them apart was not just their unwavering loyalty but also their unique combat style. Their most iconic weapon was the kukri, a curved knife that served as both a utility tool and a lethal weapon in close combat. In battle, the sight of a Gurkha wielding a kukri often struck fear into the enemy. In addition to this traditional blade, they used the standard weapons of the British and Indian armies, including the Lee-Enfield bolt-action rifle, Bren light machine guns, and later, submachine guns such as the Thompson and Sten. During World War I, Gurkhas were deployed to multiple battlefields and fought with remarkable courage. On the Western Front in France and Belgium, they engaged in brutal trench warfare, distinguishing themselves at battles such as Loos in 1915 and Ypres in 1917. Their toughness and ability to fight under extreme conditions also made them valuable assets in the Gallipoli campaign, where they attempted to seize high ground from the Ottoman forces. In the Middle East and Mesopotamia, they took part in key operations against the Ottoman Empire, including the Siege of Kut in 1916 and battles in Palestine. By the war's end, more than 200,000 Gurkhas had served, suffering over 20,000 casualties, and several were awarded the prestigious Victoria Cross for their gallantry. Their role was even more significant during World War II, when around 250,000 Gurkhas fought across various theaters. In North Africa, they played a crucial role in the fight against the Axis powers, particularly at El Alamein in 1942, where their ability to launch aggressive assaults helped break German and Italian defensive lines. Later, in the Italian campaign, they fought in mountainous terrain during the fierce battles at Monte Cassino in 1944. However, it was in the Burma campaign that they truly cemented their legendary status. Facing the Japanese in dense jungles, they excelled in both defense and attack, often conducting daring raids. At the pivotal battles of Imphal and Kohima in 1944, their relentless fighting helped push back the Japanese advance, marking a turning point in the war in Southeast Asia. Some also served in the Pacific Theater, particularly in Malaya, where they continued to fight against Japanese forces with their signature tenacity. Following India's independence in 1947, the Gurkha regiments were divided between the Indian Army and the British Army, with 4 regiments remaining in British service. These units later merged into the Royal Gurkha Rifles, which continues to serve in the British military. Over the years, Gurkhas have participated in numerous conflicts, from the Falklands War in 1982 to the Gulf War in 1991 and the war in Afghanistan in the 21st century. Their reputation for fearlessness and unwavering loyalty remains intact, and their motto, "Better to die than to be a coward," perfectly encapsulates the spirit of these extraordinary soldiers.